there really is no such thing as pure stainless steel. It is going to be combined with something. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena from Wholeness Campaign, and today I want to share with you how to avoid heavy metals when you're in the kitchen, especially around your food. You want to make sure that heavy metals stay as far away from what you're consuming as possible, and there are a lot of sneaky ways that heavy metals can make themselves into your food. And so I want to give you 7 tips for avoiding those in the kitchen. We obviously know that you want to avoid them in food, but it can be really tricky when you are using cookware that's made out of different materials and you want to find the safest and cleanest options. So let's jump in. My first tip here is going to be to clean things gently. So particularly when it comes to stainless steel, most of the time the interior of a stainless steel pan is going to be aluminum, because stainless steel in and of itself is actually not a great conductor of heat. There really is no such thing as pure stainless steel. It is going to be combined with something, and I talk about this in another video, so if you didn't catch my last video on different quality of stainless steel and how I go into all the details of finding and sourcing the best, highest quality stainless steel that is going to be the best for your health, go check that out. I'll link it above. But you really do want to make sure that you're cleaning the stainless steel gently, that you're not scraping it, that you're not putting a knife to it even. I mean, this goes for a lot of different things. Obviously, stainless steel is much more durable than other things, and we definitely do put knives to our stainless steel sometimes when we're cutting things. But we noticed over time that when we were actually cleaning with steel wool, that it was degrading the layers, the plies of stainless steel, which was actually starting to expose the underlying metal that is being used as the conductor in some of our pots and pans. And partially that was because they were cheaper, but we were also using steel wool to kind of scrape off the rest of that food, but realizing that it was actually damaging the pot itself. So that can actually expose you to heavy metals such as aluminum. And if you're degrading the stainless steel, you're much more prone to be consuming some of that chromium and nickel that can also make up the composition of the stainless steel ply. So I would encourage you to clean it gently. One way that you can do this is to actually just heat up some water in the pan and let it kind of boil off whatever gunk is left over from your cooking. Or if you burned something, just trying to not use so much elbow grease in getting the pan clean, because that actually can over time start to kind of damage the stainless steel quality, and you are scraping some of it away every single time. So if you can put just water in it, let it come to a boil, let that kind of heat up, and let the hot water take it off by itself. That's going to be a lot better of an option. If you can let things soak, that can be a better option. But that hot water trick is really the best thing, because you don't have to let things just sit on your counter forever. You can actually just heat it up and let that hot water do the work for you. And you don't even need any chemicals, so it's really great. My second tip here is going to be to cook with cast iron. It's just really to replace the kind of cookware that you're using with something that is an actual solid material. Now, cast iron does come in different levels of quality and things like that, but most of the time you're going to be getting a full cast iron pan, and that actually works just as good as a nonstick pan, but you are avoiding Teflon, which has been known to have heavy metals in it and would be then leaching into your food and leaching into your cooking and all of that. So I definitely recommend avoiding Teflon. Paying attention to the type of material that you're cooking with can make or break really how much heavy metals you're exposed to on a day-to-day basis, because your food is taking up a little bit of that every single time. So number 3 is going to be to avoid cheap water filters. So it was actually found that Brita water filters actually give off a little bit of aluminum as they're being filtered. When they tested the water for heavy metals afterwards, the heavy metal count in Brita filtered water was actually higher after the fact. So paying attention that the kind of water filter that you're purchasing actually does filter heavy metals. Heavy metals can come in through water very easily just from all of the leaching that happens in the pipes and in whatever water source that you have. However, the water filter itself, if it's cheap enough, I mean, it really can actually cause more heavy metals to come in than you even would have had if you hadn't filtered the water at all. So I do recommend a really high quality water filter. We do use the Berkey in our house, and I feel like the whole fluoride filters with activated aluminum is kind of a whole separate conversation that I'll save for another video. But I did make a video about water and how to find and source the best quality water, making sure that you're not damaging the structure of the water. I think Berkey is a really great option if you're looking to start out, especially if you're renting. You don't have to hook anything up to the main system. You don't need to filter the whole house water. You're just going to be putting it into the tank. It is a relatively cost-effective way to filter water very effectively and get those metals out of your drinking water. My fourth tip here is to watch your fermented foods. So what's interesting is that probiotics can actually eat away at stainless steel, any kind of metal really, but especially if you're exposing that ferment, so maybe it's kefir, to a stainless steel spoon or a stainless steel sieve, those probiotics actually eat away at the metals. And I have personally experienced putting a lid on a yogurt jar, and then the yogurt that was touching the edge of the rim when I licked it at the end actually tasted like metal. And so being aware that your stainless steel straws, your spoons, your lids, anything that is exposed to a ferment, especially for a longer period of time. Obviously I use a spoon to like spoon out my yogurt, but if you're just letting it sit there, those probiotics are so powerful and they can actually eat away at that steel. And then if you go ahead and eat the product afterwards, you're kind of consuming whatever that probiotic just ate, which can be heavy metal. So pay attention to your ferments, and especially those lids when you're screwing them on over and over and it's splashing all up in the sides. I would recommend a higher quality lid, maybe even a plastic lid or a silicone like based lid, which is what we've got. And there are different things you can swap out, like nylon strainers, especially when you're sifting for kefir grains, that are going to be a lot safer of an option than stainless steel. Okay, my fifth tip here is going to be to avoid tin cans whenever you can. I don't do this when it comes to fish because I actually do get them from cans and it's hard to not. But if you're going to be buying anything acidic, especially like tomato sauce, avoiding those tin cans because those cans are usually made out of aluminum. And if you prefer to just buy it in glass, you're going to be a lot safer, a lot better off than having this tomato just sitting there kind of soaking in that metal. You're not only looking at the probiotic amount that can eat away at the metal, but this acid can actually wear away at it as well. So being aware of that. And on that note, I will just say there are types of tuna that you can get that are lower mercury count. And so paying attention to the branding, and if they test for heavy metals in the cans of tuna, that's going to be another way you can avoid it when it comes to tin can things. So my sixth tip is somewhat along the lines there, and that is just to avoid processed foods. So foods that either they're contained in something that is metal looking, or like tin, like I said, or just processed foods in general, because most of the time in the manufacturing process, what you don't see behind the curtain is a lot of factories that are actually using heavy metal machinery, not just pure stainless steel machinery, to make your products. And oftentimes you can actually find byproducts of whatever the machine type was, whether it was plastic or some kind of metal. You can actually find that leached into the product itself. And many things, including like Kraft mac and cheese, a bunch of other dairy products for whatever reason, have been found to actually have heavy metals in them because of how processed they are. So as much as you can actually source it from safe, local, homemade sources, it's going to be better. And trying your best to actually make as much of your food from scratch is going to keep you a lot safer from this manufacturing chaos that can go a lot of times unnoticed because we don't have that kind of visibility to our food like we used to. So, and my seventh and last tip here is going to be to purchase high quality stainless steel. I talk about this in another video, which again, I will have linked in the description box below. But ideally, you're actually tending towards a copper based stainless steel cookware as opposed to aluminum. But if you do choose aluminum, making sure that the quality of the stainless steel is high, that is layering around it, as well as the ply count is high and the thickness of those plies are high. I talk about that in another video, so I'm not going to go into it. The quality of your stainless steel does matter. That durability and that resistance to wear and tear is going to be a big factor in preventing you from being exposed to whatever makes up the stainless steel itself. Okay, so those are 7 of my best tips for avoiding heavy metals in the kitchen. And if you got anything valuable out of this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It is my passion to walk alongside people as they heal and grow. It inspires me and hopefully brings encouragement to you. Thanks for watching.